Yes, people. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Trogo the TV. We are back with another live stream. We are back with another show for you, man, this evening. Big up everyone that is in the stream today. We're going to be talking about Arsenal January transfer window. Listen, if you're an Arsenal fan, if you was on my live stream earlier, you wouldn't know what I said. A lot of Arsenal, a lot of fans in their teams, right? They say I've noticed that a lot of teams and their fans say this a lot of the time during when the summer window or January comes. This is the biggest window of of like your team's year. But for me, I know last season was probably one of our biggest ones because of the league and stuff. You're big up Caden and big up Roman. But let me tell you something. This January transfer window in 2 months is the biggest one for Arsenal. When I mean no, I know we say this a lot of times. If you're an Arsenal fan, we say this a lot of times. But this January transfer window is probably Arsenal's biggest one yet, and I'm serious. It's because we definitely need for a striker, midfielders, and definitely another winger to cover Saka. Because Reece Nelson will just never get game time because Arteta just doesn't trust him. We can all just see that, and plus it's a joke that Arsenal like in the summer the club knew, the Cronkies knew what we wanted in the summer. They knew what you had to get. Bring in another striker, another winger, and a midfielder. I would have been happy with that. That's all we needed. We bring in Kai Havertz, wasted 65 million player on a bum player that does nothing all game, just stands there in the midfield and jogs. He is crap. I've said it a lot of times. This guy is rubbish. And then we got Thomas Partey that is probably he's one of our best midfielders in our team. But right now it's Declan Rice right now. But Thomas Partey is another midfielder we talk about. This guy can never stay fit, always injured. And then you got El Neni, who's just signed a new deal, but Arteta only uses him for like Carabao Cup games and like probably FA Cup games. That's the only time he's going to get game time. So in January, Arsenal, I think we got to do more than bringing a striker. I think in January the club's got to bring in a winger, a striker, and I think a midfielder. If we can do that in January, I'll be happy. Maybe two midfielders actually, because we only have one midfielder that's young, and that's Declan Rice. Thomas Partey is 30. If he could stay fit, I would keep him for another 2 seasons. Jorginho is 33. El Neni is like 35. And our youngest midfielder that we have in our team is Declan Rice, who's only 24. I think in the summer you bring in two midfielders. Ruben Neves. I know Arsenal looked at Douglas Luiz. He's all right, yeah. Young, 25. I would take him over Jorginho in a heartbeat. Don't get me wrong, Jorginho is a great midfielder, but Arsenal, yeah, we keep going. We go for a lot of players, yeah, that are hitting their peak to like retire. Like Arsenal, I've noticed, yeah, that when we buy players, yeah, like when we bought Cedric, how old was Cedric? 31, 32. Like why? But when we bought him back in the 2019 to 20 season, in the lockdown season, I was shocked because I was thinking, so we're buying Cedric, who's like 31, and what's that gonna do? And we kept him for 3 seasons, and his second season he did all right. He was fine. But then it was that Cedric signing that was weird. Remember when we bought Willian? Who remembered that? Oh my days, Willian, bro. That guy, man, Willian, man. That's another player who I despise of us from Brian. I don't know why we even went for him in the first place. He even said he wanted to stay at Chelsea. I don't blame him because Willian was when we signed him. I thought, okay, Willian, yeah, he had a good year at Chelsea. I thought he was going to be sick for Arsenal, but then that whole season, nothing, man. Awful. It was bad. That signing was actually bad. Like it was awful. Like it was crazy. And then like look at all the other signings that then Arteta redeems himself, brings in he brings in Jesus, Zinchenko, Fabio Vieira. I think this season Fabio Vieira needs to start. I think Fabio Vieira needs to start getting a lot more game time. I've really said it, yeah. Kai Havertz, yeah, he's awful, but I think Fabio Vieira should be starting ahead of Havertz. I know some Arsenal fans will probably disagree with me and back Havertz. Oh, Havertz is that, Havertz is this. Havertz is nothing, bro. I've said it to you. I never wanted this guy. Havertz should not be starting in our first team. Havertz should be on the bench, probably. He's a bench player. For me, he's a player you'd bring on for like the last like 30 minutes and maybe see something. Well, he should not be starting. Our starting 11 should be Jesus, Martinelli, Saka. I'm talking about this season, yeah, like going into Premier League games and stuff. Jesus, Martinelli, Saka. Then in midfield, you have Odegaard, Rice, and Partey. If Partey was fit, that midfield would be so cold. A lot of people have said it, and I know that midfield three: Partey, Odegaard, and Rice. That would be cold. Then you have Zinchenko, Saliba, Gabriel, Ben White, or people argue maybe Timber at right back because Timber can play there. If Timber comes back, you put Timber in there, and then Ramsdale in goal. That's our best. That's our best formation. But and I don't care who we have at right back. But if it's Ben White or Timber, I don't care. But that's our strongest 11. But like I said, going back to this January transfer window thing, this is important for Arsenal. It's huge. The club, the owners have got to get it right this year. Last season, yeah. Yes, I'm never gonna. Last season upset us because the bottling, yeah. Arsenal, we were top for so long, and after these man couldn't hold out to try win the league. These man gave up, and we just lost. We bottled it, man. Last season was another important example. Last season, January transfer window was important for us because we were still going. We were top till we were top all the way till March or maybe February. The club didn't even in January last season we bought Trossard. I'll take that deal all day. Then we bought Kivior. We didn't need another centre back. I would have rather bought Kivior this summer for a backup. Last season in January, I would have went for another winger and probably a striker as well last season because Nketiah as well is not here. I'm going to move on to the strike situation. We're linked with Vlahovic again today. More news came out again today. Arsenal are leading the race for Dusan Vlahovic at Madrid. I mean, at Juve. We're leading the race. We've overtaken Real Madrid. And yes, I remember when we first interested in him, he said, Arsenal's not, he didn't want to come to us because he said, yeah, we don't suit the way how he plays. And last season, that was 2 seasons ago when he said that. Last season, we were interested in him again, but it was in January. We were linked with him, but we didn't go for him. And we was linked to him last season in the summer before last season started. And he was interested. He changed his mind. He wanted to come to Arsenal because he said he saw what Arteta was doing. And Dusan Vlahovic, he does like Arsenal now, and he said he doesn't mind coming to the club. And I think, yeah, listen, Ivan Toney, I'll take Ivan Toney all day. Just get me a striker. If it's Ivan Toney or Dusan Vlahovic, because them two would do me a better job with rather than Nketiah up front. But listen, if we don't get Toney, because I've been seeing news that Toney Brentford are starting talks with him for a new deal, and Chelsea are in the race for him as well. If we don't get Ivan Toney, there's other strikers to look at as well. We've got Sesko, who is balling out at RB Leipzig, but he's only young. I think he's like 21 or 20. I don't know if it's time to bring him to the Premier League yet. He's too young, and we don't know if he's going to ball it out yet. Like I said, Ivan Toney, Premier League proven. He scored 20 goals for Brentford last season. 20 goals. 20 at Brentford, 20 goals at Brentford. It's crazy. Then you got, like I said, Dusan Vlahovic, who's a striker that I really like since he's gone Juve. I remember him at Fiorentina, was it? Yeah, Fiorentina. He was great there as well. But when he went to Juve, that was a huge upgrade. He moved to a bigger club and stuff, a much bigger club in Italy. And I thought Dusan Vlahovic, yes, he doesn't really, he does score goals, and I think he would do me a better job up front rather than watching Nketiah every week, yeah, and just barely do anything on the ball. But like I said, getting a striker is huge for us in the summer, in January. It's huge for Arsenal Football Club. If we don't get a striker, I don't know what I'm going to say to that man, because I think, I know a lot of Arsenal fans said that they don't think a striker is a priority. Ivan Toney, yes, he is a baller. I know he is. Ivan Toney is a wicked player. If we don't get a striker in January, I'm going to be really upset at this club. It's going to ruin my season again, like last season. If you're like, when you're going for a title, obviously you probably buy players in January. Last season, yeah, we went for Trossard and we bought in Kivior. What was that all about last season in January? What was that all about? That was a dead January, bro. this season, January, we need attackers and a midfielder and a striker. Arsenal have got to try at least in January. We at least have to bring in a striker. In January, yeah. If we don't, I think a striker and a midfield is our priority. I think we do need a winger, but that's not a big priority because Reece Nelson is there, Saka's there, obviously. Trossard, he can play on the wing, he can play left wing, he can play a bit on the right wing. I played him there once. I saw it. I've seen it. He can do a job on the right wing. So winger is not really a massive priority for us. But I said in January, as long as we bring in a striker and a midfielder, I think I'll take that. I think you also need to bring in 2 midfielders in January. I think you bring 2 midfielders in and a striker. And if we don't bring in another winger, we could. But if we don't do it, I wouldn't mind waiting for the summer to bring in, at the end of the season, to bring in a winger because, like I said, winger's not massively our priority. But like I said, a striker and midfielders are our priority. Just get me midfielders and a striker. We really need a striker. Jesus needs backup up front. We need someone else. This season, yeah, for me, going into a season, I think you have to have 3 strikers in your team. 2 is just not enough. It can't do it because, say if one gets injured, the other one has to. The other one, yeah, yes, he wants game time, but he won't be able to play like 5 games in a row. You have to rotate. That's why I wanted us to sell in Nketiah. I said, yeah, what I wanted was Arsenal keep Jesus Balogun, sell Nketiah, bring in another striker. We have 3 top strikers there. Balogun, who's up and coming, he's special, really, really good. We should have kept him and sold Nketiah and then brought in another striker. So you would have had another striker, Balogun and Jesus. That's what I would have went going into the season. Because say if Jesus gets injured, you got Balogun and another striker. Balogun would do me a job better than Nketiah would. Everyone knew what Balogun was all about coming through our academy and stuff. So it's sad that he's gone. Like, it really is sad. Like, I'll miss Balogun, man. I know I remember him. He played a couple seasons ago in our first game of the season. What was it, against Brentford away? We had no striker because Aubameyang and Lacazette was sick. I remember that game. I was watching that game. Friday night football. We kicked them. That was the season when we bottled top 4. We came 5th. I was watching that game, and Balogun, yeah, he didn't have a good game because one, it was his first. That was his first debut game in the Premier League. And I think that's the only game he's played in the Prem for Arsenal anyway. That was the first ever game that he played in the first team, and it was a loss away to Brentford. But our team back then was just terrible. Like we had, it was an all right team, but we didn't have enough like great players in them. Remember, and then after that last season, brought in Zinchenko, Jesus, that changed our team. But look, I just need to see. When you're put in a big club, your club has to set high standards, right? High standards are the most important thing at football clubs. If you want to achieve Arsenal, we've got to win something this year, a trophy. I'm happy with the Community Shield, the silverware. We got something already. That's fine. We can get Community Shield off our list. We've won that lots of times already. The Community Shield. I don't care about that. We've won the FA Cup. No one's won it more times than Arsenal. We have it 14 times. So yeah, that's our competition, the FA Cup. I'd love us to make it 15 FA Cups now. One day, we need to get that record up now because you never know. In a few years, yeah, teams like Man City, Liverpool, them two could probably, if they start like and stuff. So yeah, it's Terrell. Do you think Ramsdale would be a target in the transfer window? Hey, bro, listen, Ramsdale, right? Yeah, like I said, that's my guy. Yeah, but we have to be honest. David Raya is the better keeper. He is the better keeper. You got to be honest, man. Like, but David Raya does dumb stuff sometimes. Like, you know when we lost to Newcastle away, or was it 1-0? We lost. It was 1-0. Yeah, 1-0. Right. Correct me in the chat if I'm wrong, guys, but I'm pretty sure it's 1. It was 1-0 that we lost, if I'm correct. Yeah. Did you see the way how he dived for the? You know when he dived to try and hit the ball out? Yeah, the way how he dived was so dumb. Like, he got criticised for it. And I didn't blame. Yeah, 1-0. Yeah, I thought so. I didn't blame people for criticizing him because this guy didn't. The thing I hate about David Raya, right? He is a good keeper, but the thing I hate about this guy, right? He comes way off his line too much. He's too high sometimes. Remember the goal? Remember that jummy goal that Mudryk scored against us in the 2-2 game when we went 2-0 down? Remember when, bro, that goal reminded me of what Saka done 3 seasons ago at the Emirates in lockdown season. Remember we played Chelsea at the Emirates 3-1 and Saka did a cross. He meant to cross it and he went all the way in over Mendy. That's what Mudryk did to Raya. But Saka did that on the right side when he scored that. Mudryk done that on the left side. That's what made it a bit funny for me. And when he scored that, I was like, that's the same goal that Saka did to Chelsea a couple seasons ago. Like, and it's crazy because like football is mad sometimes, man. But going back to the Arsenal stuff, striker is very, very important in January. It's huge for us because, like I said, if we don't get a striker, I don't know what this club's gonna do. And I don't want to see fans being, oh, we got Eddie Nketiah. That guy is rubbish. Listen, I love Eddie because he came for our academy. I big up Eddie Nketiah and everything he's done for the team. He's tried, he's worked tough, but I think playing for a big club like Arsenal is not his level. And Nketiah, for me, would suit maybe. I do think West Ham is actually his level. You know, I know I was saying that once. I think West Ham. I think a West Ham, maybe a Villa. West Ham, Villa, or a Brentford. I think one of them three clubs is for Eddie Nketiah. Maybe mainly Brentford. I can't lie. I'm not trying to take the piss yet, but maybe I think I see Nketiah if he had to leave, or Palace as well, because Palace were interested in them 4 teams. I think Nketiah could go to, because Palace were interested in him. And I thought he was likely to go in the summer because I remember Arsenal, we was looking to sell him to make some money and bring in someone else, but we didn't at the end. We kept him, and Palace were interested. And if like I said, if a club comes on the table with a huge offer, if a club comes in for Eddie Nketiah for like 25 million, 30 million, just accept it, man. Just get this guy gone. Say thank you, Eddie Nketiah, everything you've done, but listen, we got to move on. We're a big club. We thank you for your service. You came for our academy, you done a lot for us, but I think it's time for Eddie to move on. I do think we will sell him. I do think he will leave at some point. He definitely won't be here for forever. Like, I don't want you Arsenal fans better not be worried because we should not be getting worried. Nketiah will leave. He won't be here for long. I'm telling you that right now. If you're a proper fan, you like me, you'd know. Like, I'm not saying that you guys are not proper fans, yeah, but you know what I mean. Like, if you guys think this is serious, you guys would know. But Eddie Nketiah would definitely not stay here for his whole career. And plus, if say if Arteta just dropped Nketiah for like a while, yeah, he probably will ask to leave anyway. But I really do think it's time for him to go, man, because we got to be looking at better strikers, man. Like, just look at all the other clubs around us, like all the other big boys, Liverpool, Man City, but they bring in top players, elite. Look at that, Haaland, Rodri, De Bruyne. Look at their players. They brought in Guardiola, 21 years old. He's a centre back. Pep's playing at left back, and he's boarding at left back, having the time of his life this season, man. It's crazy. Man City, Doku as well, a young winger. He's only 20 years old, and he's born like that in the Prem at 20 years old. It's a joke. Like, that's why you gotta be. That's why I hope in January Arsenal will just go out there, put the money on the table, and just. I think in January also we'll sell some players. I don't see Eddie going yet. Eddie will obviously stay till the end of the season. We're not selling Eddie in January. There's no way. Like, we don't see that happening yet. But Arsenal just need to the club needs to be serious of what they're going to do in January. I just want to see some serious business, no messing around, no dumb stuff, no buying players like a Kai Havertz. Arsenal, we need a huge upgrade on Kai Havertz. 65 million, yeah, bro. I want my money back, bro. Like, we're never gonna get the money back for Kai Havertz. I don't think no one's gonna come and pay 65 million for Kai Havertz, and I don't blame them. He wasn't even worth that much, but Arteta said he had a plan for him. I don't see no plan. We just saw Havertz the other day play at left back for Germany. Nagelsmann came out and said, he's not always like classic gonna play there as a left back. So yeah, and yeah, I think it was only a one-off because it was a one-off for Nagelsmann. He only played in there as a one-off, and he scored it 5 minutes into the game. And I saw his goal, and I see some Arsenal fans, like, I saw people on social media, like tweeting it out, talking about it. Like Havertz scored a goal 5 minutes and he's at left back. But I was like myself, yeah, I know. I was happy for Kai Havertz because that's our player, but he's awful. He's rubbish. Yes, he got a goal. Well done. Big up to Kai Havertz, man. I just wish that Kai Havertz, yeah, like, I know when we first bought him, everyone was like, I want to see that, the Kai Havertz at RB Leipzig. We're not going to see that Kai Havertz ever again. We still don't know what Kai Havertz's best position is. We don't know if it's going to be a left back, a striker, a midfielder, in that 10 role. Kai Havertz, he plays in the 10. He said he can play up front. He said he can play on the wing. He's definitely not a winger. I don't know where he got that from. The way how he plays, he's not a winger, man. There's like, I don't know why when he said the positions that he can play. He said he can play a bit on the wing. There's no way he's a winger. Don't believe that by any chance. I just see him as a midfielder and like he can play up top. That's what I see. There's no way this guy can play on the wing. He's not. He doesn't have that pace in him, and he just doesn't look like a winger, man. Like you can just tell, man. But like I said, in January, Arsenal, he's got some huge business, got some huge stuff to tell in at heart because this club needs to wake up and look forward to we need to move and look into the future because this club, if Arsenal Football Club, right, yeah. I wasn't alive. Obviously, a lot of young Arsenal fans like me, we wasn't alive to witness the great Arsenal team play. A lot of the Arsenal fans that are probably in their 30s, man, or like in the 30s, 40s. If you're in your 30s and 40s, you guys were lucky to watch the Arsenal years ago, man. The Thierry Henry days, the Vieira days, all of this, man. Van Persie, those days, man. And then the olden days, man, when Arsenal were just winning everything. Not everything, like league titles and stuff. We'll win FA Cups. The Wenger days when we first brought him in. Like the Invincible season. I wasn't alive for that yet, but I've watched the video of Arsenal's whole Invincible thing, yeah, and that season, Highbury, the stadium. Listen, bring back the old Arsenal back. I just want the club to be good again. Like you always want your club to be successful, and that's what Arsenal need to do again, man. But we're never going to be successful if your owners in your club not take stuff seriously. But yeah, transfer stuff, yeah. Like I said, Arsenal have got serious business to have in their hands tonight. This season is all in their hands. We're gonna see what the club decisions make. We're gonna see what the decisions of the owners make. We're gonna see what the Kroenkes have to deliver for us this season. Because there's stuff that I don't like, yeah. What I've been seeing from the Kroenkes lately, yeah. Now I've got to see some more high standards at this football club. When I mean a lot, I mean a lot. Because Arsenal, right? We're that type of club where we would just sit there and not say like shit. That's all I'm gonna say. We are that type of club. We're Arsenal Football Club, man. Gotta be honest to what you see. I'm a real fan, yeah. I admit what my club does, right? And Arsenal, we're that type of club. We are. It's time for this club, yeah, to step up. Like we also years ago, remember the chance when that Spotify guy wanted to buy the club and Kroenke said no, Stan Kroenke, he didn't want to sell the club. Football nowadays, it's all about money. That's all they want. Greedy. These are some football owners, especially the Glazers, the worst owners I've ever seen in my life. The Glazers, they are greedy as mad. Those Glazers don't care about United, but look at them. Made that United thing long live continue. Glazers stay in 10 more years. But yeah, guys. Like I was saying, January transfer window is just huge for Arsenal, man. It's big business that we've got to do in January. The players got to bring in the right players. Definitely a striker. I've said it already. If we don't bring in a striker, I'm going to be so upset because I think that's the most important thing for Arsenal Football Club that we've got to bring in. We've literally just got to bring in a striker. We've got to. Because if we don't, then boy, oh boy, I don't know where this football club goes from here if we don't bring in a striker. I would be upset. I definitely will be, man. Because we got to see new business happen in the summer. Because if we don't, then boy, this club is just in a rock right now. Because Arsenal Football Club, right? We will look at players, yeah. I hate what this club does as well, yeah. You know when you're interested in a player, and they'll just talk about them. Oh, we're gonna see what we do. We're gonna bring him in. Don't worry, he's coming to the club. The amount of players Arsenal have been linked to the same players over the last few years. Yeah, we're linked to so many players. Yeah, that we've been linked to already, and after a couple of months, like into the new season, when it comes January transfer window in the summer window, we're linked to the same player again. Like Douglas Luiz, for example. How much times have we been linked with Douglas Luiz from Villa? Bare times. Every minute we're linked with this guy when it comes to, oh, we're looking for midfielders. We're linked with the same midfielders again. Why, bro? Why is it that this football club just look at someone else? Stop looking at the same players every single time. If you're not serious here about buying the players, don't tell me that we're interested in these man. You think I care? The Kai Havertz thing as well, yeah. Going back to the Kai Havertz thing, yeah, that's the thing that pissed me off about that signing, yeah, because that signing was just bad. It's embarrassing. 65 million when we could have got a better midfielders out there. There's way better midfielders out there. Kenneth Thuram is out there, who Liverpool were interested in the summer, but they didn't get him. They brought in Szoboszlai, McAllister, Gravenberch. Kenneth Thuram, I'll take him at Arsenal. I'll take him, Thuram. I've said it already. I'll take him. Like I said, this football club's got to be. You got to be serious about where you're at and what level. And the standards are not set at this football club at Arsenal. We just need to this club just needs to turn the year around, man, and just be serious about signing players. Because if we're not, we are screwed. And we're in the mud. We're not in the mud right now. But if all the stuff carries on again, boy oh boy, I don't know where we go from here. Because soon we will be in the mud, and it's going to be peak for this football club, and then fans will realize, oh yeah, it's that, and then what can we say, man? It's going to be peak again. But yeah, and going back to the Ruben Neves thing, yeah, I spoke about this earlier. Ruben Neves, yeah, like I said, I like Ruben Neves. I would bring him in, but the thing is, yeah, think about bringing players in, yeah. How many would they start though? Would they get into the team? Because we know what Arteta's like, yeah, our manager. He does have favourites. He plays the same team. Like he loves Kai Havertz. That guy too much. That guy starts every week and does nothing. And Arteta, I know deep down Arteta knows. He knows that he's made a mistake, yeah, but he has to make the Kai Havertz sign work. Well, that's on him. That's his problem. If it don't work, yeah, he has to get criticised. Arteta really has to be criticised. I'm really onto this guy for because that signing was not good enough. That signing was poor. When we signed him again, fans were gassing up. Remember, bro, I can't believe we made that song for him. Yeah, when we gave him a jammy penalty to score against Bournemouth. Kai Havertz scores again. No. Okay, well done. You're singing scores again, yeah. When this guy's only got one penalty and that has one goal this season, and it was against penalty against Bournemouth that Odegaard gave to him. They tried to do it to get his confidence up. Has it helped? Nope. And then you got Arsenal fans again gassing, yeah, like, oh, he scored a Champions League final. He scored a goal in the Champions League final, okay, but was that for us? It was for Chelsea. So yeah, like I said, sometimes it's the club and our fan base as well. That's a joke. But yeah, in January, Arsenal have got to be serious with what we do, man. Like I said, the striker is the most important thing ever in this January transfer market. If we don't get a striker, oh my days. Soon it's going to have to be starting back panic mode at Arsenal Football Club again. Just please, Arsenal, in January, just get me a striker. That's all I want. I don't have to keep asking this again. Last season, I was begging for a striker to bring one in because I knew, yeah, Balogun was going to leave at some point, and I knew he was going to keep Nketiah. We should have just kept Balogun and sold Nketiah. There were some clubs interested in Nketiah, but Arsenal, we didn't even consider to negotiate a deal, find a deal, how much they were going to give us for him. We just wanted to keep him. The club likes Eddie, favoritism, and yeah, we bet that it's football club until the Cronkies leave and stuff. So Arsenal fans, we need to start expecting things will change, because for now things will not change. It's always going to be the same, you know, and that's life, man, right now. And it's when you're a football fan, it's stressful when you're a football fan because when your club just does dumb stuff, it's your mind. You go like, oh, Arsenal, why did we do that? Why did we do this for? Well, we just done that. So yeah, Arsenal have that to just thank themselves for because it is crazy when you see clubs just mess around. But going back to the January transfer window again, it's important, and we just got to do the right business in January. Just get us a striker out of the midfielders. Like I said, midfielders is important for us this season. We do need to bring in midfielders because Thomas Partey for me has to be sold. He has to go. Jorginho, I don't know what's going to happen with him. Oh, Nenny, yes, he signed a new deal, but it's obviously time for him to go, man. This guy doesn't even play every week, man. Like, how long has he been waiting to play a game for like us? This guy never plays, and when he signed that new deal, he was saying that the owners were telling him stuff like, "What's their plans for the club?" And he was said he's very excited to be part of it, and the managers and him were just talking, laughing, and people thought that something was going to happen between the only game. Is he going to be used again and stuff? Well, no, he's not going to get used. And look, he's barely been used. This guy barely plays. He manages a Sunday. He manages another team, and he's played for Arsenal. And this guy doesn't play. It's peak, man. It's peak for Elneny right now. He is screwed. And like I say, as a football fan, you got to hold on tight and just focus on the future and what's going to come ahead. And that's what Arsenal needs to do. That's what I'm saying for Arsenal Football Club. If we want to succeed and be a massive club, the club needs to do a whole lot better and just go for it, man. A whole lot better. What I mean, we need to do a whole lot better because it's barely like just look at all the other clubs' business. Just look at Liverpool's business, yeah. They've brought in, like I said, going back to Man City and Liverpool. Look how they do business. Elite players every year. They find a way to bring these players that are young and just make them beasts and stuff. So, like I said, January window is important for Arsenal this year. It's very important. We got to do something in January, something big that's gonna shock people. Okay, something massive, and that's what I want to see at this football club. Guys, I'm gonna wrap up the stream there. Thank you so much for watching. That's the show done. Stuff on the transfer window. I'll be back tomorrow. I'll be back tomorrow with another stream. So hopefully you guys are there. Big up everyone. I'm out, people. Peace. Thank you for watching the morning show. I'll probably be back in the morning for another morning show again if I have time. But yeah, big up, guys. I'm out, people. Thank you for watching. And remember, the Arsenal. Peace.